So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the.
All right. Happy Sunday, guys. May 21st. Welcome back. Juicy, I see you in the house. Anya, David, Tim, Groundhog Eater, Doc Zeno, Ellie, KL. What is going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a great weekend. It's almost done. We're going to do a special version of Stock Chat Live tonight. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You pick a ticker and tell me if you want to hear the good, the bad, or the ugly. We'll get to that later, though. First, hopefully everybody's got yourself poured a cold drink and you are in the comfort of your own house and you are over the age of 21 because it's the last year weekend here and you should enjoy it. No drinking and driving, please. Katie, May, good evening. Gabe, Roscoe, PDX Dave, what's up? Damrick, Young Joe, Raul, what's up? Tallahassee in the house. Kevin, I want to know what drama y'all heard over the weekend. It was nice to unplug for the past couple days. I haven't even checked in on the court stuff since, what do we have? Saturday morning, 7 a.m. my time, trying to find out if there were any exceptions to the judge's late Friday letter. And there weren't. There were not. So I'm talking AMC here for a second. Let's see. Let's let a couple more other people come in, and then I'll pull up the court record and see if anything else happened over the weekend. And if not, if you haven't been paying attention, I'll catch you up what happened Friday late in the day and early Saturday morning and what's going to happen next week. Houston, Texas. Raul, what's up, neighbor? Howdy. Tallahassee. Don't drink and drive, Joey says. You might spill your drink. Amen, brother. Noisy Corax, what's up? Blazing, what's up, amigo? Yeah, you know, the good thing about AMC right now, between now and, what do we got? June 29th, about little bit over, yeah, let's call it 5 weeks left. It's pretty much an easy coast. It's an easy coast. There's not going to be much going on. A lot of great movies coming out. I encourage you to go see some movies. But we're headed towards a settlement process at the end of June. So if you're expecting to hear a lot of AMC videos from me over the next 5 or 6 weeks, probably not going to be any. Not a lot anyways, unless there's a major court development. It's just not going to be much to talk about. And we don't need to be clickbaiting with 4 AMC videos a day just to get people's emotions all ginned up. That's not how we do it here. If there's something real to talk about, partner, we're going to talk about it. And for those, you know, for the day-to-day stuff, a letter from the special master. Look, letters aren't much. Letters are a recommendation to the judge. When the judge tells us something, then I'll have something to say. So yeah. Ryan, what's up? MVIS. You got to say good, bad, or ugly, Ryan, but give me a couple minutes to have a drink and light up my cigar, and then we'll do good, bad, and ugly. Juicy says, what is up with the whole debt ceiling thing? Okay, that's a great way to start off the show, Juicy. Debt ceiling, you're going to hear a lot of stuff you probably already have heard. And it's the same thing. Look, if I wanted to clickbait people on debt ceiling, I could make thumbnails with the city on fire, Washington, D.C. on fire, Congress on fire. It's all going up in smoke. But gosh, man, how many times have we done this since I've been alive? At least 90 times in the last 100 years that I've been on this earth. And, you know, every single time They make it sound like it's going to be the end of the world because they want you angry. They want you upset. They want you emotional. They want you calling your congressman and raising hell. It's all politics. And gosh darn it, I'll be surprised if, just before we run out of money, the night before, they will figure it out. That's just the way it is. So I'm just kind of cool, calm, and collected about the whole debt ceiling thing. The market's going to be a little topsy-turvy, depending on the news of the day with the debt ceiling. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty relaxed about it. If it goes bad, if they don't, if this is the one time, it's probably not going to be very good. But I have confidence that it's going to be just fine. PNW Texas in Seattle. What's up, amigo? Let me get this old cigar lit here. We got another one of the Dumet cigars. This one's called the Journeyman. Looks pretty nice. P&W says, I miss me some mesquite. Yeah, mesquite grows like weeds around here, guys. Sure does. We got two pest trees here, mesquite and cedar. Cedar far worse than mesquite. At least, I guess if you were into cedar plank salmon, you could figure out a way to use the cedar, but it's mostly just bad for allergies. The mesquite, you can cut it down and use it in your barbecue for some mesquite smoked meats, whatever you like, steak, pork, fish, chicken. Should we stop short selling for banks only? I guess what you're asking is, what do I think about the premise that has been floated out there that they should, not allow shorts to target the banks? Hell no, I say. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if they're going to disallow short selling on banks, God damn it, disallow it on everything. No targeted special favors just for the banks. Hell to the no. Noisy Correct says the debt ceiling debate is the best example of the SpongeBob meme. Look, Patrick was saved the town. Is that? I'm not familiar with that one. I do like SpongeBob though. Used to watch it a lot back in the day. Back in the day, I remember when, there are some adult cartoons out there like The Simpsons, ostensibly a child's cartoon, but all the jokes are really for the grown-ups. I remember in my 20s, you wouldn't miss an episode of The Simpsons. My kids used to watch SpongeBob, and I found it quite humorous as well. Buckaroo Bonsai, what's up? All right, let me see if I can increase the font size here because I'm getting old. There, that's a little better. Don't have to squint. And while we're waiting for a few more folks, I'm going to bring up the court docket. Since I haven't looked at it in a couple days, let's move it down here so it doesn't look like I'm looking up at God. And let's see. All right, there I see a couple of new letters that I hadn't seen before, so let's pull those up. Maybe a noisy Corax. Maybe this is what you were alluding to in the comment that you just dropped on my videos. Bottom right monitor. So what had happened on Friday, prior to that, the special master had, some of the instigators, the interveners had asked to see the discovery. And in all fairness, guys, I'm all for anybody seeing the discovery. Let's be real. There's no reason that us as stockholders, if we're part of the class, we should be able to see the discovery. So I jest, but I'm fine with them seeing the discovery. Fine with any of you seeing the discovery. And so a couple people had asked to see it. And then AMC and Allegheny both said, nah, we don't like that, bruh. And the special master said, well, you didn't really file a very good reason in your letter why they shouldn't see it. So, and so to the judge, she said, I think within certain parameters, if confidentiality is kept, that they should be allowed to see it. And the judge agreed, gave them till midnight on Friday to raise any final objections. And if there were any, she'd have a conference call Saturday morning, early doors, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. There were no exceptions or objections from Allegheny or AMC. So it looks like it's on. And as far as I know right now, it looks like Al from Boston and what's the other gentleman's name? The one in New York. Oh gosh, I forget his name. Anyways, it was on the tip of my tongue. I want to say, Ethan. I wanted to say Nathan, but I knew that wasn't right. Ethan. Looks like Ethan and Al, and maybe all of us. I don't know. We'll see what's in these other letters. But the judge said as long, I think they're going to have to sign a confidentiality agreement because they're not represented by counsel. So that that brings up some security concerns with these confidential documents. It's not going to be posted for everybody, guys. There's confidential material in here that AMC doesn't want all their competitors to see in these 55,000 pages. But Allegheny and or AMC is going to need to provide a convenient location for these people to go log in. It'll probably be at an attorney's office somewhere, close by where they live. It has to be within 100 miles. And they can go read through to their heart's content and take notes. But I think it's going to be, it's going to be confidential. I don't know that they're going to be able to say anything about it. They might be able to use it if they find something good to file a new motion. And look, if there's something in there that the plaintiff's attorneys, Allegheny, who are supposed to be representing us, if there's a smoking gun in there, I want to know about it, as I'm sure you do. So I have no problem with these guys getting to look at the discovery. The problem I have is I know that their real intention is to delay. We've heard that from them many times. You've seen the tweets. I'm not down for the delay thing. What comes of all this? Could it be a delay? I don't know. I think the judge understands the urgency of time here, and she'll keep things on schedule. But you never know. Depends on what comes up. I'm going to pull up these two documents from the 21st. Meanwhile, while we're pulling those up, I see some of y'all asking about postcards. You should be getting your postcards this week. Hopefully you were following my Twitter or my community tab or the video we did last week. The postcards, kind of like, there's no delivery deadline date, right? Let's be straight on that. No one has to have them by X date. There was a date by which they should be mailed, and that was approximately on the 15th, as best as I could reckon. So whatever time it takes from the third party is mailing them, right? It's not AMC mailing them. It's not the attorneys. There's a third party that is mailing them, so it's all on the up and up. You don't have to worry if there's billions of shares. This third party is going to get a list of every single name, and AMC is going to be billed for it. So you don't have to worry about anybody covering it up. Third party reached out to all the brokers, got the list of names. They are sending out the postcards. You will all get a postcard. You better. If you haven't got one by the end of next week, I'd like to hear about it. I don't want to hear any comments today that you hadn't got it, because it's for many people just too soon. Next week, most of you should be getting your postcards, assuming that they were all sent like on the 15th or 16th. We're in the delay of the postal service now. Ellie says, I thought it was everyone that can go see Discovery. Yeah, I'm going to read these 2 new letters, Ellie, and let's see. Let's pull these up live. I haven't even seen these yet. Let's see what she has to say. Zoom in. From the Honorable... Oh, no, this is to Judge Zern. From Kevin Gallagher. We write in response to Your Honor's May 20th letter, with respect to the mechanics of providing access to Discovery. We appreciate the court's consideration of the defendant's proposal of an in-person inspection, which we had envisioned at a single location. Sounds like from what I read on the judge's letter on Saturday morning, that was not the case, not a single location. I mean, literally, how does the defendant, AMC's attorneys, know where everybody's located? I sure wouldn't expect someone to fly from California to New York to go look at a document. That's not fair. But says, however, given the court's requirement that the parties provide a terminal offering access within 100 miles of the movement's request, and given the logistical challenges, yada, 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 defendants respectfully request that they be allowed to make the Discovery record available remotely to be accessed by movements and others electronically at their homes. Wow. Or their offices. First time reading this here. Although a remote view may be less secure, we believe it would be up and running more quickly, be significantly more convenient, and less costly, given that we won't have to rent out space, hire staffing, yada, 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 and alleviate any security concerns. To make footnotes, to make the remote view as secure as possible, defendants intend to make the Discovery record available via an online searchable database on a read-only basis. Will not be able to download or print any of the Discovery materials. They will only be able to review them on screen. Well, what about cameras? While there will be no in-person supervision to prevent them... Oh, well, there's one step ahead of me. One sentence ahead of me. No in-person supervision to prevent people from taking pictures. We hope the reviewers will understand, as evidenced by their signing of the undertaking, that doing so is impermissible and subject to appropriate sanction. Yeah. All right, so this is AMC's attorneys. They have agreed to remote viewing. All right, let's see what else we got. One more letter filed over the weekend right here. Letter from Vice Chancellor Zern. Dear counsel and interested parties, defendants have requested that the court allow them to provide stockholders not represented by Delaware remote access to the record Discovery based on cost, security, and other concerns. She says it wouldn't be surprising if the interest translated into a high number of stockholders seeking access to Discovery in this case. The court imposed the above mentioned limitations about, security, 100 miles, in person, in recognition of the cost, but defendants undoubtedly have greater knowledge of the cost and tolerable risk. So therefore, the defendants are free to implement additional protections or cost-reducing procedures that are both reasonable and not inconsistent with Special Master Amato's report. The court is available should other concerns arise. A note to stockholders: access to Discovery is permitted in order to help inform the decision of whether to object which in turn may help the court evaluate the merits of a proposed settlement, as well as counsel's decision to enter in it. All right, so she's making it clear here. If you're thinking that you're going to create another case out of this discovery, that's not what this is. Class members who seek access to record discovery must do so for these purposes in mind. Let me repeat the prior sentence. To help evaluate the merits of a proposed settlement. Must be done so with that purpose in mind. And they must comply with procedures for obtaining this information in the confidentiality agreements without deviation. All right. Any questions on that? Seems pretty clear. Doug says they don't want you to have true access to the discovery. I mean, Doug, you're getting full access to the discovery, and that AMC is saying you can do it at the convenience of your home. It doesn't sound like anybody's trying to hide anything to me. Now, I know some conspiracy people are going to spin it into whatever, but I mean, literally, if you're given full access to whatever you want in the convenience of your home, it seems like they're being, pretty amenable to stockholders to give you full access. Silent Solitude says, with no photos, the trust me bro will be in full effect. Yeah, I mean, from the perspective of some conspiracy people on Twitter and YouTube are going to be viewing these documents. Oh, guys, I can see the videos now. Oh, we found the smoking gun. We found the bullet. Oh, this is the best ever. But I can't tell you. You're going to have to trust me. Yeah, I can see a few YouTubers doing that. Joey says, smoking some cannabis from ancient times. Cheers, Joey. Time is a factor, Doug. Yes. And the judges set a schedule. And, I don't think when they set that schedule, they anticipated interveners wanting to see the discovery, because that's, I don't think, very normal. And time will be of the essence for these people. They'll have, as far as I know, access on Monday. I don't know what conversations have happened between the interveners and counsel over the weekend, but the proposal was to let them have access starting Monday morning. So hopefully that happens, and they have the next full 9-10 days, whatever it is, to read to their heart's content. And if there's something in there that was overlooked by Allegheny, then I would expect and honor them for bringing that up. If I don't want anything swept under the rug, let's put it that way. Now, I am on the side of the fence that I think that Allegheny, being the competent set of attorneys they are, probably looked at all of the evidence, all the discovery, and made, the best deal they could, considering that based on all of the documents they looked at, they realized they couldn't win. Could a couple of amateurs, stockholders, review it and find something that was either overlooked or purposely overlooked? Sure, I'll allow for that possibility. And they will now have the opportunity to do so. I think that this judge understands, like I said, a lot of people don't understand and don't agree with this cowboy that, or Adam Aaron for that matter, or the board for that matter, twice removed, that the finances of this company are very shortable right now. There are no shorts scared in AMC if this company cannot raise money. Again, Q2 I expect to be good, but I don't expect the company to make money in Q3, Q4. We've got under $500 million in cash. For anyone who's really angry at me right now, I want you to go look up AMC's working capital I want you to go look up the definition of working capital. I want you to understand why a company with negative $1 billion in working capital is a good short. It's a great short. There's no short scared on AMC right now. A lot hinges on Q2 being good so that we don't slip further down the slope. But it is critical that this company have the ability to fix that balance sheet, raise cash. And if that opportunity is denied them, I will probably get out of this play because it's not going to go well the rest of this year. Just my opinion. You can be bullish on Ape all you want, bullish on AMC all you want, but if this company can't raise cash and the balance sheet is screwed up in Q3 and Q4, they lose more money. That $500 million we have left goes down to $100 million. It's going to go the same way as Bed Bath & Beyond or any other company that's got a wrecked balance sheet. And that is just my opinion. But I think any reasonable accounting finance person looking at the financial statements would agree with me. And if you're an accounting or finance person and you disagree with me, let me know right now. Let me know your credentials. I'll give you a phone number. We'll get you on the live stream right now. Any other YouTuber who disagrees with me, give me your breakdown of the financial statements. Let me know why working capital is not an issue in your eyes, and walk us through how this company is going to, scare the shorts if we lose money in Q3 and Q4. Give me your best shot on a video. What solves all this? The ability to raise cash. Is it great for us, retail? It's not. It's not great for us, right? Dilution's never great. But going to zero, going to bankrupt is far worse. And if you don't believe me, ask anybody holding BBBYQ. When they thought it was solid at $8, when they thought it was solid at $30, and now they're sitting on 18 cents. That could be your future. If these no voters, these delayer instigators have their way, by the end of this year, if it were delayed all the way till end of this year, that could be your future. Cujo says, why does Donahue George keep saying we have enough cash? I don't know. I've never seen him once talk finance or accounting on a single play. He thinks Mullen's a great fundamental play. I heard him say it not a week ago. Mullen is an absolute train wreck of fundamentals and financials. And that's the problem with all these guys that are pushing the no vote. Not one of them could, if they had to save their life, they couldn't read a financial statement. And that is unfortunate. Their entire bet is hinged on a belief of synthetics and a complete rejection of fundamentals and financials. And that is a dangerous game, guys, because you're not investing then. You're not understanding. You are speculating. You're gambling. You're hoping. And they've been doing that hope for 2 years. And I'm telling you, the music's about to stop and there's only one chair left. If we don't get a couple more chairs out there on the gym floor, there's going to be a lot of people without a seat. And I'm not going to be playing that game if this company's not allowed to raise cash. I will be out, telling you right now. Am I saying that raising cash is going to cause a short squeeze at the end of June? No, I'm not saying that. Dilution is usually not great for retail, and statistically speaking, right? But the alternative, bankruptcy, running out of cash, or just being stuck for the rest of the year, not being able to raise cash, the shorts are going to double down. You're not going to get a squeeze, in my opinion. So that's that. All right. Now let's play a game, the good, bad, and the ugly. Give me a ticker. I'll pull it up on the screen here. But you need to give me a ticker and let me know if you want the good, the bad, or the ugly. Hopefully it's one that I know. If not, it might take me a few seconds to look at it. I'm waiting for the first person to comply with the with the instructions. All right. Cujo says SPY, and he wants to know the bad of the SPY. All right. Let me pull it up. I've got the bad hat on right now, so good. I don't need to change hats for you, Cujo. Anyone, don't put any more tickers in right now because I'm not looking at the chat. Gotta wait till I'm done looking at this. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. You can see my little blue line that I have drawn on there where I'd like to be trading the SPY at if it were to have a sick dip. That's at about 370 right now. We're at 418. If we had a 20% drop. Now, you know, if the debt ceiling were to go sideways, like if they weren't able to create some sort of deal, you could see the SPY drop below 300 potentially. But I'm kind of like, if I was going to be trading the SPY and feeling, you know, without the debt ceiling, just normal gyrations, I'd like to be buying it around 370. I'm not doing a lot of day-to-day SPY trading right now. So the bad on the SPY, from my perspective, it is a little bit high right now. And the other thing is the market is topsy-turvy right now. Why am I not trading the SPY? Because you could wake up any single day and flip a coin to figure out which direction the SPY is going to go. My hat is off to you if you are trading the SPY on a daily basis, playing options and making money. I don't like that kind of risk on a daily basis. I like to see it really take a big fall, you know, like right here. If we get another one of these and it drops anywhere near this blue line and then starts getting a little recovery, I would then start playing the SPY. So the bad for me on the SPY is risk right now and market uncertainty. You got bank risk, you got political risk, and you got interest rate Fed risk. All right, Matt says, let's get ugly with GTII. Oh man, Matt, one of my favorites. GTII. Well, I'm sure y'all remember Uncle Lou pumping this one back in, was it that long ago? October? Uncle Lou pumped this one up. Uncle Lou, Uncle Will, George Washington, white-haired dude, Ham, short killer on Twitter, probably Ovid Trader, all these guys pumping this thing. Now, I think it's fair to say that probably all of them will quickly tell you this is not a fundamentals play. Man, I could not agree more. But just recognize if someone is pumping GTII to you, you are buying a company with no revenue, with no real business. A company, let's see, when did they release their earnings? May 15th? I'm getting old, guys. It's hard to remember. They went from, if I'm not mistaken, negative 1.7 million in net income to negative 70 million. Something like that. They can't even pay their executives. The owner of the company is writing personal checks to fund the company. The 1-800 law firm thing was supposed to be locked tight by May 15th. Got crickets. I mean, this is a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. So Godspeed if you believe anybody who's pumping this thing. Would I buy it if it starts moving up 20%, maybe for a day trade? Would I believe anybody pumping it on any social media? Fuck, hell no. Absolute clowns. All right, that was ugly. I told you it was going to get ugly. You asked for ugly. If you're talking GTII, you are a clown. You are a pumper. You are talking about something that has zero merit. God love you. Good, bad, and the ugly. You got to give me a ticker and you got to ask for the good, the bad, or the ugly. Mullen, the ugly G Immortal. What's up, buddy? Mullen. David Mishery, my favorite character. One of many. Woo! Is this for real? $397. Oh man, $397. Anybody bag holding Mullen at $397 from November of 2021? Currently trading at $1.07 after some reverse splits. And yeah, the ugly with Mullen is can't meet any deliverables, no income, just lost $300 million in a recent quarter, just pushed the Mullen 5 out to from 2024 to 2026 for customer deliveries, pivoting to vans and M3 trucks. Now, well, I don't know if I should say the positive of that. Let's stay on the ugly. I'm going to say the ugly of that is they're not anywhere ready to deliver the Mullen 5. There's people trying to spin it. Oh, well, see, the reason they're doing this is because of vans and trucks. Well, which do you think is the bigger market, really? Consumer vehicles is the bigger market. So I, in my cynical heart, think that the push to 2026 was probably something to do with engineering, or what's that fancy word? Homologation. What they got to do to get all the regulatory shit passed. They're probably not anywhere close to having the Mullen 5 ready. Otherwise, why not dual path it? You got different factories, right? This smells like absolute horseshit to me that the Mullen 5 got pushed to 2026. And if you watch my video a 10 days ago, I think I will find, and I'm putting myself out there, right? I'm putting my reputation on the line. The reason the price has been going down since the reverse split is there is still ongoing dilution. Maybe not from David Mishery, but from the most recent prospectus that they did, the conversion of Series D preferred stock. I think that is still ongoing. Just my guess based on writing it all down and mapping it out. And I think that we're going to find out on the next filing, probably around 249 million will be the float on Mullen. Just my guess. I could be wrong. Not financial advice. I do own a little bit of Mullen. I am long on Mullen. I bought it at 10 cents. And just prior to that, I bought a little bit at a quarter. And I'm already down 50%. But, you know, I spent $50 on it. So don't cry for me, Argentina. I know how to scale risk. This is not a play that I'd put any significant amount of money in. I just did it just for grins. And if it runs up on Lawrence Harge news, well, then I'll make a little money off my $50 and I will add to it. But I ain't catching no falling knife, brothers and sisters. I tell you that. I am not doubling down on this bitch. It is ugly as they get. Suck my, says, when will the bear market end? When the Fed slows down or changes direction on interest rates. It might, look, I'm as hopeful as you guys that it'll be next month, but the longer this damn inflation shit goes on, the more it's looking like we got another year. And I hate that. I hate that. But I'm not seeing signs yet of things changing direction. Gary says the good with GFAI. All right. I'll tell you, the good that I know of GFAI is it has the word AI in it. That's where I'm going to stop. It got that little pump here back in April when all the AI stocks were moving. I looked at it and I got to stop talking because that was the good that I found in GFAI. It's got the word AI. All right, next. MVIS, the good. Microvision. Don't know a lot about Microvision, but if we're going to talk about the good is the chart. Look at that shit. I don't know what's driving this. This is not a stock that I follow, but if you're trying to trade something, you want to be catching it on an upswing like this. $1.80 to $3.95. Is it done yet? I don't know. I would need to go dig in and see what is making it run. The good, I would say, is you need to take a hot minute to understand what is driving this. I can't say any more good. I'd like to say more good, that it could run up to 590 again. But I don't know what is driving this. So that would need some further looks. The higher things go, the more worried I get if I don't understand what's going on, because you know what always happens, that reversal. But if there's legit news driving this, if there is legit reason, could be good. I see they had earnings right before it turned up, so probably was good news on earnings. I'm just guessing. G Immortal says contract approval from EU. Thank you. All right, David wants to know the good on shop. Oh, I forgot. I got to change my hat if I'm talking the good. Can't have the bad guy hat on when we're talking good. Shop. Shopify. The good. Ooh. This is not a stock I follow, so we're going to let's see if we can find anything good here. Let's go to the deep dive. So 2021, right before the market crash, Thanksgiving, it was trading at 176, dropped all the way to 23. The one good news is it's risen back from $23 to 60. Let's see what we got on the income statement here. Only the good, Tony. Only the good. All right. All right. All right. Here's some good. From the previous quarter to the most recent one, they went from a negative earnings to a positive. That is good. That probably has something to do with this uptick. One good thing, they went back to positive earnings. What else we got? They have $1.74 billion in cash. That is good. Let's check their current assets versus current liabilities. Current assets, $5.93 billion. Oh wait, cash and cash equivalents. This actually, and short-term investments, $4.86 billion. That's even better than I thought. So current assets total, $5.93 billion. Total current liabilities, $883. That's what you want to see. You want to see much less current liabilities than current assets. So another good. Balance sheet is in relatively healthy shape from a working capital perspective. Positive shareholders' equity of $10.96 billion. Net change in cash is positive. Yeah, I mean, the financials are fairly decent on this company. All right, what else we got? Baba the Ugly. The Ugly Baba. It's a Chinese stock. Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act. Refer back to my video back in, what was it, July of 2021, when I said I'm selling all Chinese stocks. It's still up there. Right about here, I said I'm getting out of all Chinese stocks. Oh, man. The amount of hate I got over that. But, think of all the money you could have saved. $83 back then, dropped all the way down to 38, 58. Wait, no, it was in July, it was at $210. $210 when I said get the fuck out of Chinese stocks. It dropped all the way from 210 down to 58, currently trading at 84. Until I see any resolution on the Holding Foreign Countries Accountable Act, I am staying away from Chinese stocks. That being said, a lot of people like Baba, and you never know. It's not a horrible stock, but I don't like that risk hanging over the Chinese stocks. All right, let's take a break and have some fun for a minute. Pour yourself a drink. Cheers, motherfuckers. Happy Sunday. Tell me something fun you did this weekend. Who went to go see a movie? What are you going to see next week? Did you do anything real life, or were you just stuck on Twitter and YouTube all weekend? Tell me something good. Big B, what's up? Spent all weekend outside, Anya. Booyah. That's what I like to hear. I did a little bit of work outside. I hosed down the patio. Scarlett wanted to plant some stuff in the garden, and it was kind of rainy and yucky here all weekend. Not like pouring down rain all weekend, but it just wasn't great outdoor weather. I thought about going to see a movie, but pretty much seen everything. And so I think, the next couple weeks, there's going to be a lot to go see. How are the chickens? They're doing great, Anya. Doug saw Guardians. Suck My Eye says, I finally found popcorn. Joey worked a bunch. David says, watch some John Wayne movies. Oh, yeah, brother. Scott says his son qualified for the Junior Olympics. Congrats, Scott. Lordy, good morning to you. Guten Morgen in Germany. Had my first Father's Day. All right. I would clap harder, but I'd probably spill ashes all over. Congratulations. What else did we do this weekend? Got to visit with Scarlett's dad. He came over for a little while today. Mostly just relaxed all weekend. Doc Zeno says Tony's video on reading financials is excellent. Check it out. It's not even painful, guys. How to read an income statement in 5 seconds. How to read a balance sheet in 5 seconds. How to read a cash flow statement in 5 seconds. Up your trading game. Up your, reverse those damn losses. Quit getting bag held by all these damn clickbaiters telling you shit is good fundamentally. It doesn't take much to level up. You don't even need an accounting degree. You don't need shit. Just know what to look for. Did I do laundry on you? No, I did no laundry this weekend. I did some cooking. When Scarlett's dad came over, and I was making some breakfast tacos, and he walked in. He's like, Scarlett, how come you're not making Tony breakfast tacos? Why does he have to make them himself? Like, man, we need to have you over here more often. But to be fair, she was making some from scratch zucchini and banana bread muffins. She's on this health kick, which I applaud. She said, I'm gonna stop buying cookies and candy and treats and make some healthy snacks. So, and yeah, that shit was pretty good. I had one this afternoon. Any banana nut bread fans out there? She doubled it up with zucchini and banana and pecans. Steven, what's up, amigo? Can I show CMG and why that price is justified? Well, let me see, Steven. Steven, you went to see Chipotle. You went to see Guardians this weekend, didn't you? $2,100 for a burrito company. All right. PE ratio is 56. That seems a little high. Let me check something here, Steven. It has a buy rating on it from quite a few analysts with a average price target of $2,030 and a high of $2,350. So, Steven, it could go up another 10%. It could also drop on the low side to $1,600. So, that's going to be dependent on the economy, inflation, people's willingness to eat out and buy those beautiful, beautiful burritos from Chipotle. That PE ratio still seems kind of pricey to me. But a lot of people still like this company. The best thing about it, what is the best thing about it? I bet they have the most beautiful balance sheet you could ever hope to see. Let's take a quick look. This won't be painful, and it won't take long. Net income, $291 million. Let's go to the income statement. Revenue, $2.37 billion. Gross profit, $729 million. Operating income, $367 million. So they're making money. They're historically making money. Earnings per share, $10.73. Pretty nice. Balance sheet, $7 billion in assets, $1.26 are current assets. Current liabilities, $894 million. So they have a healthy ratio of current liabilities to current assets. Working capital is in good shape, and they are cash flow positive. So yeah, there's a lot to like about CMG. These pricey stocks, so if the economy takes a hit, it'll come down. But look, people like Chipotle. What can I say? Free from it all. What's up, Kevin? Banana nut cereal is my favorite, but they discontinued it. Scarlett brought over. She went to Whole Foods, which is kind of expensive if you don't know. But in her health food kick, she's like, I'm gonna go to Whole Foods because I can't find what I want at HEB. She brought home a bunch of stuff, some really healthy granola and some other things. She's like, have you ever heard of this? I don't know how you say it. Muesli. I was like, muesli, baby. Yes, I've heard of it. She got some probably banana nut muesli for all I know. Anyways, I said, well, I can't really eat that on keto, but I might have a handful from time to time. And if it makes you happy, to have a healthy snack, knock yourself out. Joey says Chipotle food doesn't seem too great. What gives? I don't know. I mean, this younger generation, Joey, is in love with it. I can't explain it. Real Rugged says, I say the same to my wife. Jesus United Church says, will reverse split go through? If I had to guess, Jesus or Jesus. I don't know which way we're doing the pronunciation, but I would say, and I'm still going to say 99% yes. I mean, there's going to be objectors, there's going to be interveners, you're going to hear a lot of stuff over the next 5 or 6 weeks, but I think the judge is going to keep things on track. She's going to hear all those objections at the end of June, and then she's going to go off to her cabin in the woods for a few weeks, maybe a few months, think about everything, and come back with a written opinion. And I think that written opinion is going to be that the settlement will go through. I'm not saying that to discourage anybody from writing your objections. Hey, that is your right as an American and as a stockholder. And I've provided a lot of instructions and videos to help you guys do that if that is your wish. We're all stockholders. We're all on the same team. You have your rights. I support you to exercise your rights. But I think, make sure you're following the instructions is what I would say to you. Follow the instructions. Recognize that at this point, any letters you write, the purpose of those letters is to explain why you object to the settlement or why you object to Allegheny getting paid $20 million. And hey, write those letters. Fuck those Allegheny guys. Fuck their $20 million. Kevin says, did you lose much weight? Kevin, at my age, the keto is to prevent myself from gaining weight. But for me to lose weight, I need to get back in the gym. And by the way, no one's asked in a long time, how is my knee doing? My knee is about 99%. So I have no excuse at this point not to get back in the gym. I've had a long healing process from whatever that damn, I guess it's you got your PCL in the front of your knee and you got the ACL on the back. I blew out my ACL. Wait, no, the ACL's in the front, right? Anterior, posterior. I blew out the PCL. Damn dog knocked me down in a hurry to get outside. The way you blow out the ligament on the back of your knee is to fall on a hard surface with your leg bent. And that's exactly what happened to me. Anya says, we really like Beyond Meat, makes great veggie burgers and veggie balls. So, Anya, I'll tell you, I'll share one other thing before we get back into good, bad, and ugly, or whatever else y'all want to talk about. Scarlett brought home some vegetarian, I don't know, cheddar cheese, let's call it. I have no idea what it is. Some sort of vegetarian cheese slice. I don't even... I think I looked at the ingredients. It's not soy. It's something like potato starch with smoked cheddar flavoring. Anyways, she said, I tried this and it was really good, so I bought it. And I'm perfectly fine eating regular cheddar cheese, thank you. And but I tried a bite just to see if it was any good. It actually wasn't bad. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't bad. But that's not going to be on my regular shopping list. She can buy whatever she wants. Doug says, cut out the alcohol and do intermittent fasting. I really don't drink a lot, Doug. I know it's a running joke. People say Tony's an alcoholic. The only time I drink is with you guys, which is what? Every 3 or 4 nights on a live stream, I have 3 shots, a couple beers on a different night. I don't drink. The biggest issue is I'm not in my normal running, biking, swimming, heavy weightlifting routine. I need to get back into that. Cut sugar, you'll see results. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat a lot of carbs, honestly. I eat a fairly strict keto diet. Beef, fish, chicken, pork, eggs, bacon occasionally, cheese in moderation, and pretty much any green vegetable. Thomas says, any news with Mullen, good or bad? We're waiting on Lawrence Harge. Thomas, that is going to be the only good news for Mullen until, what, August, September? Well, maybe if they get into that M3 production. I think everybody's kind of shocked and shell-shocked right now that they said they were delivering IGOs and vans and all this shit and then no revenue. And I was not surprised because this company is really good about putting out misleading press releases, and Randy Marion saying that they're creating a purchase order for $200 million. That don't mean jack shit unless you're a clickbait Mullen YouTuber. Guys, this is bullish. No, not in Tony Denaro's world. When I see it on the income statement, then I'll believe it. Until then, it's a pump retail press release. So when I see that they have, not even just in production, I want to see fucking sales invoices on those bitches. Delivering them to Randy Marion doesn't mean a sale. So we'll see. I mean, Mullen could in a quarter or two get a little bit of revenue, but even if they sold 1,000 of those vans, it's not going to be enough to offset the losses. That's going to be my guess. Kevin, I think, looks like Kevin agrees with me. They can't even afford the raw materials to make videos. Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys, that there's so many people clickbaiting Mullen with little to no regard of the actual fundamentals of what's going on here, or the understanding of how much money it's going to take to produce 1,000 vehicles in a quarter. The manpower, the shipping, just everything. The parts, yeah. By the time they deliver those things and sell them, which, could they sell 1,000 M3s in a quarter? I doubt it. But even if they could, the profit they're going to make on those is, I just don't see it being enough to offset the mass, the large expense that they have every quarter. I hope to be proven wrong one day. 1796 says, have you ever went and looked at the weirdest or most unique home in Austin? Today's clickbait winner on YouTube. Was there a video on the most unique home? We have a home here there's a castle home up on the hill, not far from downtown, and I think you can even rent it as a bed and breakfast. But I have not been inside that home. I've been in some unique homes around here. Not the weirdest. Yeah, there's probably quite a few. Thomas, I do own a very small position on Mullen, so I'm not trying to rag on it, but I'm just being honest with you. And when I say small, I mean like I'm down $25, if that gives you a perspective of my position on Mullen. I don't scale in large on a play that I think is going down. David says, don't pay attention to the nutritional advice they're giving you. Who is they, David? I think that the medical community in general, the U.S. government, is giving bad nutritional advice. I'm damn near 100 years old. I've been doing keto. Yeah, that's a joke, by the way. But I've been doing keto since I was 40. And so, coming up on 20 years in reality. And I'm on no medications. I don't have high cholesterol. I have moderately elevated high blood pressure, but that's hereditary and been like that since I was in my 20s. It hasn't changed. It's not going up. And so, I find that eating healthy foods, not packaged foods, not fast food, is a great way to regulate your health naturally. And of course, if you're exercising, either doing, what's the word for running, swimming, that's all well and good, but do some high intensity training, get out there and lift some heavy shit, and challenge your body from time to time too. Mullen is a 5-year plan, Thomas says. Yeah, if they get into production and ramp it up, Thomas, could be a good 5-year plan. And yeah, guys, a little bit of alcohol every now and then is not going to kill you. You want to keep it, ideally, though, if you're drinking red wine, ladies, in moderation, right? No half a bottle a day, no bottle a day. A lot of sugar in wine, or there's sugar in wine, right? You want to have clear alcohol, like a scotch, a vodka, a gin, something with less calories, less sugar. Whiskey, cardio, thank you, Joey. That's what I was trying to think of. I do like calisthenics too, Jake. Cheesemo says I would eat less frequently. You know what I had today to eat? I made 2 breakfast tacos this morning. It was a total of 3 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, and about 3 baby new potatoes that I had cooked a couple days before with my steak. And I chopped them up and threw them in the breakfast taco. I ate that at 11 a.m. and that was my food for the day. And then this evening before I came on, I had 1 banana nut muffin. So I don't eat a whole lot. I eat when I'm hungry, though. If I'm hungry, if I'm exercising a lot, I'll eat more. If I'm not, I don't. I don't track calories. I stop eating when I'm full. Kevin says sugars from corn syrup is pure poison. Corn syrup is the devil. High fructose corn syrup. Fuck that shit. That is not allowed in our house. Yeah, David, I would not fault anybody for having 1 glass of red wine a day. I think that, wine or some alcohol in moderation is okay. Obviously. Anya says the calories is from the alcohol. Yeah, I couldn't remember if wine had sugar or not, but I do know that the calories in the wine from the alcohol is the first thing that your body processes. So that is why, if you're hoping to burn fat, you need to limit your alcohol first of all, because your body's going to process the alcohol first. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would recommend stop alcohol and then stop carbs. Clear your house. Just throw it all out. Stock up on protein. Anya, Alpha says Anya's over there drinking the bottle. Step away from the bottle, Anya. Dev says lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks in Mexico and ate more than ever. I wonder, what were you eating in Mexico? The American preservative garbage we get fed here is poison. Absolutely. Guys, especially if you're getting older, if you're dealing with weight issues, I'm just gonna suggest to you, stop buying anything in a bottle or a box or a package. Go right to that meat aisle. Go to the dairy aisle. Go to the vegetable aisle. No rice, no potatoes, no bread. Green veggies, yellow veggies, orange veggies. and pretty much any real meat that you want. And there's a lot of things you can cook up in 15 minutes. It's not difficult, but your body's going to fight you. If you're used to eating all that junk shit, sugar, salt, carbs, your body is going to fight you. You're going to feel like you're coming off of a drug. The first 10 days to 14 days, it's absolute hell breaking a carb addiction. It's going to be bad. That's why you got to clear your house first. And Lord help you if you got kids or a husband or wife who is not along for the ride, because they're not going to be along for that plan of clearing the house, and you're going to have temptation. What do I drink? Demrick says, what did you do? Drink the water in Mexico? That was the first thought. I thought he was going to make a joke about he lost weight in Mexico from getting Montezuma's. Yeah, Panda, stop eating fruit and juice. Yeah. We have no juice, and we rarely buy fruit. Scarlett will buy banana if she's going to make that banana nut bread. And I do miss that, like apple, orange. If you're going to eat fruit, eat the whole damn thing. Don't juice it, for God's sake, and throw all the pulp out. If you need to have some fruit, no grapes, no raisins, eat an apple, eat something with fiber so the sugar doesn't hit your bloodstream as fast. Grapes and raisins, really, really high in sugar. There are some decent choices, though, like an orange or an apple, really high in fiber. The higher fiber fruits, the better. I like mangoes every now and then. I still, I'll treat myself. You can't live without strawberries. Yeah, blueberries, antioxidants, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, in moderation. I like to buy some plain Greek yogurt and throw a little blueberry or blackberry in there. Willie says, this guy's drinking and smoking and tells me fruit is bad. Well, we all have our vices. If you can, well, I'm going to be nice. I'm just going to zip it. Anyways, as I said, I'm pushing 60 and I'm on no medications and my health is fine. So I credit that to good diet and a reasonable amount of exercise. But I hear you. Don't smoke, guys. Don't smoke. If there's one thing that's going to kill me, it'll probably be this. All right. Any other questions about clickbait bullshit you saw out there this weekend? Doesn't have to be AMC. It could be any stock. Anything. Oh, you know what? You know what was making the rounds all weekend? I got tired of tweeting about it. Wells Fargo and the DTCC. Who saw that one? I didn't see any videos on it, but every ticker you could imagine that's a meme stock, they were all retweeting that. Wells Fargo's not going anywhere, guys. They're not leaving the DTCC. They're not leaving the NSCC. They have 10 accounts at the NSCC. They closed the old one. Sorry to break the bad news to you. Sorry to break this comes up once a year. Some bank closes one account that they weren't using, and they have multiple. But, people want to pump you. We always say do your own DD, but it's so easy to retweet something without looking into it that this whole do your own DD thing it's a joke. Nobody does their own DD. Wells Fargo, I don't like them. Retweet. I don't care if it's real or not. Just retweet. But the bad thing is then people say, so buy puts on Wells Fargo? No, No. Wells Fargo, I mean, if the banking system collapses, yeah, they could get taken down. But this one account being closed at the NSCC is not anything. Ben J says, what do you think of GME in Google? I like Google. Let's see if I have a price target on my chart here for Google. I do. So I'm looking for opportunities to buy Google off of this blue line that I drew over a year ago. Who asked that question? Ben J. So it's getting a little pricey for me right now. But if it drops back down on a market correction, I would definitely add some more back in. And the second stock you asked about was GameStop. I'll try and do a more deep dive video on Google and some of these other blue chip stocks here in the next couple of weeks, because I'm tracking a lot of these and I have some of them in my portfolio. But I owe you guys some videos with more in-depth reasons why, and I will be doing that. GME. A good cash position, no debt. Just had their first profitable quarter. Still heavily shorted, though. Why? Because of the gaming industry and the industry moving towards digital versus going into retail stores. Price cutting, staff not really happy, management layers being reduced. All, required steps to cut their expenses. I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of leases coming up this year that they could cut some more stores and improve their profitability more if it's an underperforming store. So I don't really know how their year is going to work out, but the long and short of it for GameStop, it's not a terrible story, but they need, the shorts aren't going to get out of this play until they see back-to-back profitable quarters. Wall Street right now does not think GameStop can pull that off 3 times in a row. That is why they're still in that play. That is my opinion. So you might see the short interest go down on another 1 or 2 quarters of profitability. If that doesn't happen, then you understand why it's still being shorted. Doesn't have everything, debt and one profitable quarter, no debt, and one profitable quarter is not good enough if the market is bearish on your industry. Gaming, retail, brick and mortar stores, they are bearish on that. So it is still a battle for GameStop. What's up, owning the float? Someone asked about Neo, and then someone also asked about AMC for June. I'll tell you both. Let me pull up the Neo chart. Neo, also being a Chinese stock, is again, refer back. I've got a playlist on Chinese stocks. I've been doing like every 6 to 9 months an update. I said back in July of 2021, right about here, when it was at $45, that I was getting out of all Chinese stocks and gave you my reasons why. And I have not bought a single Chinese stock since July of 2021. And that has a lot to do with the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act. So until that changes, I'm not buying any Chinese stocks. Not even looking at the financials, nothing. The risk of these companies being booted off the U.S. exchange is a risk that, look, I'd rather buy Tesla than Neo if I want to own an EV company. As far as the second question that someone asked, is AMC going to have gamma probability in June? We'd need to see what the options chain looks like. We got April, May, June, the quarter 2, and a lot of great movies coming out in between now and the end of June. I'm looking at it very closely, the domestic box office week by week. We need about 2.8 to 3 billion, 3.3 billion domestic box office this quarter. 2.8 minimum by my estimate to get a profitable quarter. 3.3 would be beautiful. 10, 13 cents earnings per share positive. So I can't tell you for sure what's going to happen. We're going to have to see how all these movies do. Mermaid, Fast and Furious, Guardians, and everything else that's coming out between now and the end of June. I'll be able to give you a better idea how I think things are going to go as every week ticks by. But if it is looking really, really good as we move to into July and August, you could see some ramp, maybe, if the movies are really good in performance, in revenue. You could see some ramp in the price for that pre-earnings ramp up. The other thing we have going on, though, is the lawsuit, right? What that adds risk and uncertainty for Wall Street into that mix. So it's you got multiple balls juggling up in the air there. How everything plays out. The shorts are hoping this lawsuit gets delayed, or that Ape is ruled illegal and the company can't raise money. If AMC loses the lawsuit, you're going to get shorted into oblivion. That's my guess. Because you have just prevented this company from raising money for the rest of the year. And that is, all synthetics and all other talk aside, just being purely accounting. Again, if you have an accountant friend that wants to come on the channel and walk me through, if we lose money in Q3 and Q4, how that is good for AMC, I'll have a open invitation to any accountant or finance expert who wants to come make that argument. Don't come talk to me about synthetics or short squeeze. I want to talk to an accountant, a CPA, or a finance guru who can make a compelling case why having negative $1 billion in working capital and negative earnings in Q3 and Q4 makes the shorts go away. They're going to double down if AMC loses this lawsuit. I will be out of this play if AMC loses this lawsuit. I will sell everything because I'm not going to stand around and watch it, get run to 13 cents. Broke Ape says Transformers is in July. What's the deadline? It's got to be end of June. End of June for Q2. And, we were guessing best case scenario for Q2, we could see about 3.3 billion if all of these late May, early June movies are big, big hits. So cross fingers. Are BlackRock and Vanguard still heavy in AMC? Vanguard for sure. BlackRock to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, most of Vanguard's ownership in AMC and a good portion of BlackRock's are in index funds. So they will always be in AMC. As long as we're in an index, the Russell 2000, the Russell 3000, they're going to be in the play because they have to. They're tracking indexes. They're not trying to make money trading AMC. They could be, and probably are, loaning out those shares to make extra income, but they have to be in the play. When will we know an update on the lawsuit? I mean, there's going to be weekly developments, MotoGP. Now we have people that can see the discovery. I don't know what news, if any, is going to come out of that, but mostly I think it's going to be boring between now and June. The end of June. We'll get to the settlement. The judge will have the hearing. She'll hear any objections to the settlement. And then she'll go off to her cabin in the woods and write up her written opinion. So sometime in July, I'm hoping that she'll give us that opinion. They have 90 days typically to do a written opinion. So that could be July, August, September. I mean, worst case. But the judge knows the urgency of AMC's financial situation. That has been made clear to her by both the plaintiff and the defendant. And if I could write a letter, I would lay out the same case. It's an easy case to make if you can read a financial statement. I don't judge AMC's finances off of Adam Aaron saying, we got plenty of cash. He's just tweeting to tweet. He's tweeting to keep you in the play. It's a little bit of... Don't decode tweets, guys. You can't read too much into it. He's telling you what he needs to tell you to keep you in the damn play. He says, I feel like I've been in the play for 30 years. It is dragging on. None of us for sure thought we'd be here 2 years later, but here we are. DevStat says, whatever happened to all the hype behind Evergrande going belly up? I don't know. Never talked about it on this channel. Not that I recall anyways. That was somebody else's DD, and I'd say go ask them. Go ask Dr. Metzler. Whatever happened to Dr. Metzler anyways? $17.96 says Antara sold big time, then bought short big time. I have, I'm not trying to decode what Antara is doing. They had no intention of being in this play, I don't think, this long. They're kind of stuck. They had about 240 million shares. I think they're down to about 148 and 148 million. And yeah, I mean they're a predatory trading firm. They're going to look for every opportunity to make money, and they have legal risk and economic market uncertainty with interest rates and the debt ceiling. I think you should expect that they're going to be taking some money off the table. You should not be surprised to see them selling ape. Anytime they can sell for $1.50, $1.60, they're making 100% gain. Institutions are not diamond handers. That's a home run for them. So more Antara sales would not surprise me. They're going to do it slowly to try and not affect the price. And yeah, are they making downside bets on AMC? Absolutely. Have you looked at the financial statements? It's not a bad play for a short. Despite what all the clickbait people tell you about synthetic shares and everything else, the story is told by the fundamentals. It's a good short for an institution right now. Until we have 3.3 billion domestic box office, then it might not be for a quarter. There's no shorts that are scared in this play right now. Why the huge run-ups on Mullen in the past? Lower float, higher retail interest, and retail had plenty of money back in 2021. Right now, you're not going to get a run-up in Mullen. I don't care what the clickbaiters say. Too much dilution, too much bad news, no revenue. I mean, it all comes down to the financial statements. There are no shorts that are scared in Mullen. And I don't even think, I don't even know how much it's being shorted. 17%. It's not a ton. Just people giving up on the company because it's being driven into the ground and they haven't delivered on anything. It's one thing to look at an AMC and see revenues going up industry recovering, you could have a glimmer of hope there. Mullen, what do you got? You got jack shit. You got some dice in your hand, and you're hoping to roll 7 on the come out roll. That's about it. You're hoping that Mr. Harge is not full of shit. You're hoping that they get into production in August and deliver some vans in September, some M3s. I want you guys to think about understanding why, if you think a company's being suppressed, if you think it's being sold off or shorted, the answer to why all of this is happening for all of those companies is in the financial statements. You're only hearing the clickbait on YouTube and Twitter. Not one of those damn people is explaining to you why the financials are a train wreck. So you think it's being suppressed, but it's being legitimately sold off because it's bad news bears on the financial statement. You can't expect a company to run up that has no revenue and has not met one deliverable, Mullen. It's just not reasonable. And that goes for GTII and Hellbiz and Genius, not Cosmos, they have a chance. Finger. What are some more of the naked short companies? They're all just train wrecks. Steven says Mullen was originally pumped by unethical clickbaiters, still is, in my opinion. I think a couple of them have good intentions, but they're just not being honest with their audience about the state of the financials. Half of them don't even talk about it. Look at the pretty van. Let's hope that Mr. Harge is for real. I mean, you're literally investing in a hope. Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah, another one. People clickbaited into it on hopes that Ryan Cohen was going to do something, hopes it was going to get bought out. It's going to go bankrupt. It might get bought out for the assets, but retail is not going to make any money on that. They have more liabilities than they do assets. So it's not going to end well for these guys, I think. Just my opinion, not financial advice. We'll know soon enough. Clock is ticking on Bed Bath & Beyond. God bless them. BBIG, yeah, that's another one. MMAT's another one. Meta, another one. It is, I know, it's ugly, it's painful to look at the financial statements, but at the end of the day, if you put on a scale hope and fundamentals, only one of them is going to matter. In the short term, in a week, hope can win. You can get these little mini run-ups. But over the long term, if you're holding these dogs for the long term, the financials, the fundamentals are always going to end up dragging these companies down until they change something. And unfortunately, a lot of those smaller companies, God bless AMC, thank goodness they don't have convertible debt or warrants, but that is what is absolutely slaughtering all of these other companies. Even if they get a little glimmer of a run-up, convertibles, convertible stock, convertible debt, those fucking institutions just unload with both barrels on you and kill your little squeeze. Yeah, if I see a CEO saying we're hiring a company to attack the short sellers, that's like an automatic easy short for me. Easy sell for sure. I don't short stocks, but if I saw a company put out a headline that we're hiring a law firm to go after naked shorts, that's like smokescreen, retail pump and dump, CEO blowing smoke up your ass. You should run if you see a headline that says that. And any poor retailer, Twitter, YouTuber that thinks that hiring that guy God bless you. I mean, it is all a smokescreen. And every single company that's done it has been an absolute train wreck. They got a little pump on the news and they created a whole nother generation of bag holders. What do I think about Neo Chinese stocks? Don't own them. Check my playlist on the why. All right, ladies and gents, tomorrow is Monday morning, and I would like to be up early. I talked to Johnny, the Massalorian, tonight. We were going to do a live stream this weekend, but he had to work, and he had to work late. He said maybe tomorrow night. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we can be on live. And the idea was to do a Austin versus Boston beer challenge. So maybe that'll be coming up soon, maybe tomorrow. Do I remember? Steven says, you remember any Sphere 3D? Yeah, I've got a whole watch list of train wreck retail. What's the phrase I use? Retail fails. That's what I call it. Retail fails. Every chart looks exactly the same. And it wasn't that retail failed, it was that they failed to read the financial statements and they bought into the pump. Some people made money. You can make money on these plays. I'm not shit talking a play. Get in early, get out early. Don't believe anybody's price targets. You will survive that way. Stop listening to these idiots. I love you guys. Have a good night. Have a blessed weekend. Be good to one another. Remember, we're all here for the same reason, to make money, and more importantly, to not lose money. Preserve your capital. Don't get tricked by clickbait. And if they're not showing you financials, you ought to be asking the hard questions. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the subs. Thanks to the moderators tonight, and we will see you on the next one.